Welcome to the inaugural Earth Day Summit.
Women's Summit.
Women's Summit.
Sorry, I'm loud.
Well,
Hello.
It's Earth Women Summit for EarthX 2025. Welcome and thank you. My name is William Bridge. I am the president and CEO of Global Green, and it is a true honor to help kick off this historic gathering of visionary women and their allies committed to shaping climate solutions that serve all communities. First, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to the founder of EarthX, Trammell S. Crow, for his steadfast commitment to environmental leadership, and to Rajan Singh, the CEO of EarthX, for his dynamic stewardship in making this event possible. This moment and this movement is urgent and it's essential. As we gather here today, communities across America and the globe are still reeling from the impacts of climate change, disasters, wildfires, floods, hurricanes. At Global Green, we work to shoulder all of those burdens to help support those communities. And we know that recovery is long and time is needed to make it happen. True resilience requires proactive solutions rooted in equity, innovation, and yes, bipartisan collaboration. And that's exactly what today is all about. The Earth Day Women's Summit is more than an event. It's a platform. A platform to amplify the genuine women leaders in business, government, media, civil society. It's just who we are. And we're forging bold, practical, and inclusive pathways to a more sustainable future. Women drive 85% of consumer purchasing decisions and represent half of the global population. Their leadership is not just for the good of the planet, it's smart economics. And yet, women remain vastly underrepresented in climate finance, in boardrooms, and in investment. Today, we're changing that narrative together. Throughout the day, we'll engage in deep conversations, explore innovative solutions, and form coalitions that transcend politics and industry. We'll address climate security, business leadership, sustainable food systems, and how to engage culture to shift consumer behavior. And we'll do that through the lens of action, not just talk. On behalf of Global Green and our summit partners, thank you for being part of this catalytic movement. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce someone who has been a driving force behind today's program, our Executive Director and MC, Joan Michelson. More for you though, hold on, more for you. Joan is a nationally recognized ESG consultant, dynamic speaker, and host of the acclaimed Electric Ladies podcast, which features over 450 interviews with trailblazing women leaders in climate, engineering, and sustainability. She is a passionate voice for innovation, a frequent contributor to Forbes, and a powerful advocate for equity in the clean energy economy. Please join me in welcoming Joan Michelson.
Thank you, buddy.
You're very welcome. Whoops, that was an extra hug.
He rocks. Hi. And a lot of those people in the room are that I've had on my show, right? Raise your hand if you've been on my show. All right. Thank you for being here. You didn't raise your hand. There you go. Okay. Hi, I'm Joan Michelson. How are you? Welcome to the Earth Day Women's Summit. Hi, have a seat. She's also been on my show. Thank you. Is everybody good? Is everybody caffeinated? Is everybody, you found the room? Okay, good. So, as Bill said, this summit was created to highlight the unique and, as he said, essential perspectives and solutions that women bring to addressing the climate crisis. We're honored to be joined by this incredible group of talented, creative, brilliant, and dedicated women from across the economy, from industries, backgrounds, perspectives, some from faraway lands and some from around the corner. I won't tell you how far they've come, but you'll hear about it as we go during the day. As he said, I'm Joan Michelson. In addition to being executive producer of this event, I'm also the MC. So if you have any questions or issues, don't come to me, come to them. No, I'm kidding. And I do have a sense of humor, so if you have a problem with that, just get over it. please silence your phones. Thank you. Mute is a very good tool, like, vibrate. He told you about me. I'm not going to do that again. But first, I want to thank my amazing partner on this, William Bridge and Global Grain. You have no idea how extraordinary he has been. And I also want to thank, obviously, our sponsors, EarthX, Global Green, Green Cross International, Crow Holdings, Hilton Anatole, where we sit or stand, Sage Communications, Pinnacles Coatings Group, Origin Paints, Edge Studios, and of course, Electric Ladies Podcast and Green Connections Media and my amazing team. We encourage you to post on social media during the day. Obviously, we have photographers around. If they get in your way, just deal with it for a couple seconds, please. There is a camera filming in the back, so just be mindful of that. You can hashtag Earth Day Women's Summit, Electric Ladies at Earth Day, EarthX 2025. My tag is at Joan Michelson, or you can use at Global Green, at EarthX. Yeah, now figure it out. We got them all. Or you can make one up, right? Why not? Also, by the way, before I forget, put your business card in the back, in the bowl, one way or another as you're walking in or out, because we're going to have a drawing at the networking reception, and we're giving away a few coaching sessions that are each worth about $1,000, so you'll want to do that. One of the cool things we're doing today is we're going to have a few poll questions throughout the day, so you'll see a screen with a QR code with Slido, and you'll see it as you go, right? But scan it, answer to the, be honest, please. Like, don't try to tell me what you think I want to hear. Just do it. And then I'm going to take you through the agenda. Bill kind of did, but let me just give you a little bit more background. So first off, you'll hear the global perspective on addressing the climate crisis in a fireside chat that I'll have with the head of Earth Charter International Secretariat. You'll hear more about her in a minute. And believe it or not, the top climate scientist from Ukraine, who we are very happy is here and safe, right? Then I'll talk with a remarkable group of businesswomen, top businesswomen, about what the role of business is and frankly should be in this moment in addressing the climate crisis. Buckle up on that one, right? We'll explore the need for more innovative financial, business, and investment models, because what we got ain't working, with wonderful women in those industries. At noon, we'll break for a networking lunch downstairs. I think it's in the Imperial, which will have speaker and blah, blah, blah. You hear about that. If you were here yesterday, you know the drill. But you got to come back, because at 1:30, we're reconvening for an inspiring afternoon with amazing women in the public eye to explore, how do we talk about this in today's world? We have a strange moment in our history. We have all these crises coming together, but we got to learn how to talk about it, right? And we're going to have a bipartisan conversation, and then it'll be your turn. And a friend of mine who's amazing will help facilitate a brainstorming session where you get to tell us what you think we should do about these issues. Don't hold back, please. And then we'll close out the session with one of the most fundamental parts of our lives, food, fashion, and agriculture, and how they're being affected by the climate crisis. We all got to eat, and we all got to wear clothes, girls and boys, right? Okay. And then we'll wrap it up with the networking reception with a few gifts. We have a couple of other speakers, a short speaker training, and I mean short, and then a few refreshments, the random drawing. But don't forget to put your business card over there, because you wanna do that. You got it? Sound good? Take notes? Okay. So let me kick off the day with a few, tee it up with a few thoughts to get you thinking about this. The passing of Pope Francis is a great loss for millions of people, especially those in the Catholic faith. But it's also a great those of us who have a mic that goes out periodically. Okay. Okay, good. We'll stay consistent. It's also a great loss for those who want to protect nature and humanity by addressing climate change. Can I get a handheld, please, just in case this keeps happening? In his historic environmental encyclical, he admonished us to, quote, protect our common home. When he addressed the joint session of Congress, he said, quote, we need a conversation which includes everyone since the environmental challenge, thank you, since the environmental challenge we are undergoing and its human costs concern and affect us all. That's why we're here today, and that's what we're here to do. We're in the middle of a massive and urgent climate crisis, compounded by economic, political, and yes, social chaos. It's not pretty, right? We all know that in this room. But today, both women and the climate are under threat, unfortunately, and a lot of that threat is man-made, literally. The good news is women have unique perspectives and many creative solutions that are both highly effective and frankly truly feasible, and that can help all our communities. And that is what makes today's summit all the more important to have now, today, in Texas, right? In chaos, there is also opportunity. Women know how to manage chaos. I believe women are natural innovators. Why? Because we've had to be. We had to develop the innovation muscles. Women's ingenuity is incredibly inspiring. Abby Falk put it this way in a recent post on LinkedIn, quote, these women embody a different operating system, one built on moral clarity rather than market dominance, close quote. I've spent many years in corporate America. Historically, frankly, not until even really quite recently, women have not had access to budgets, authority, power, but we still got a lot of things done. How? We built relationships, we found out who really makes things happen, we figured out how to circumvent the red tape and the bureaucracy. We found another way. That's what innovation is, finding another way. When I went to Chrysler's Global Electric Motor Cars, I was a Martian to these people. I was a New York City girl in Fargo, North Dakota. Anybody lived in Fargo? Okay, I'm probably the only New York City girl you'll ever meet that lived in Fargo. But I was in a car company, never having worked in the auto industry before. I truly was, shall we say, a bit different. How I got there is an interesting story. But when the reason I'm sharing it with you is because when the president of the company introduced me to the staff, he said, quote, North Dakota Nice wasn't working, so we brought out a New Yorker. The driving value in North Dakota is nice, by the way. And it was clever because it said she's different, she's going to make changes, it's going to be uncomfortable, she's got my support. Get over it. In one cute little pithy phrase. They laughed, but they got the point. I was there to make changes, to do things differently, and they should, well, buckle up. That was powerful. But what really made the difference was he stood behind me. And he delivered, and so did I. I would stand in the doorway of his office, literally, and he would look up, and he'd go, uh-oh, she's here to take me out of my comfort zone. Give me a minute. And he'd grab the arms of his chair, and he'd go, okay, I'm ready. Try me. And I'd come out with some crazy idea of a methane-free Christmas or a connection with an organization he didn't understand. Sometimes he said no, sometimes he said yes, sometimes I had to convince him it wouldn't cost him any money. But then our campaigns went viral and sales went up, and he just looked at me and said, how did we? I'm like, it's okay, you don't need to understand. We got on the front page of the Wall Street Journal saying that our car's success was a symbol of how the time had come for electric vehicles. And he's like, how did this happen? Because we got innovative, right? But my point is we all need to embrace new ideas like the president of my car division did. We all need to embrace being taken out of our comfort zones. We need to hold the arms of our chairs and say, okay, try me. Each of us need to build a bridge to people very different from us, like my boss did by bringing this New York City girl out to Fargo, right? And I did by moving to North Dakota. My friends thought I was nuts. Seriously, anybody in the room that knows me, they probably know that. But we can do this. We can build bridges. We as women, we do it every day. We just don't call it that. We collaborate. We ask people for their ideas. We organize meetings and events that bring people together, bring kids together, bring communities together. We solve problems. We find creative solutions. We find a way. And Mother Nature doesn't ask what your party affiliation is before she wipes out your neighborhood, including those of some of the people in this room. But as the Pope said, climate change affects everybody and every one of us. So let's find ways to address it that make our lives better too. You ready? Today, let's get started. Okay, thank you.